What's up, guys? It's Benches, and welcome to Dead or Alive 1. That's right, I am officially starting the Dead or Alive retrospective. Why? It's not because there's a new Dead or Alive game coming out, because sadly, it looks like there isn't one coming out. Tecmo, what are you doing to me? Anyways, I figured it was about that time, because the Dead or Alive series is really up there as one of my all-time favorite fighting game franchises. So pretty much what this is going to do, it's a retrospective on the Dead or Alive games of yesteryear, as we talk about a little bit of a trivia of the games. We talk about my experiences with some of the games, and just overall, just a fun, good time. So we're going to run through arcade mode and just have a good time. I'm going to call this the DOA retrospective, but the Tina Chronicles. Tina Chronicles DOA retrospective, because I only really play one character in Dead or Alive, and that is Tina Armstrong. So enough with the chitter chatter, let's jump in. I'm playing the Xbox version because this is the best way I can get the best footage of this. So here we go, Dead or Alive 1 arcade mode. Here we go. Oh my god, look at this character selection screen. Oh! Alright, so this is the original cast in the first Dead or Alive. You had Kasumi, poster girl for Dead or Alive. Some would say kind of like the Ryu of the series, but there you go. You have Zack, always flamboyant. No one really knows what's this guy's deal, but he's cool, hot to trot, fun Kai. Let's go. Hayabusa! For those of you who are familiar with the Ninja Gaiden series, he is from that. Hayabusa, probably the world's loudest ninja. Bayman, he wears a life preserver vest. It looks really cool. There you go, Bayman. Li Feng, age 19. It seems like Dead or Alive girls actually go behind in age, because they get older as Dead or Alive 3 comes out, and then as Dead or Alive 4 and then 5 comes out, they seem to have gotten younger. I don't really know what that is. Jen Fu, he's old. He does some cool moves. He's crazy. He's a cool guy. And there she is, my girl, my heart, my love, Tina. She is American. She's 22. She's 5'6", 130 pounds. Her fighting style is pro wrestling. I think you understand why I like Tina. And this is back when Tina was a brunette. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Tina has not always been a blonde. She started out as a brunette. It's pretty great. And of course, it can't be a fighting game without a Bruce Lee style character. You have John Lee. He's loud, he's annoying, but we're sticking with Tina. Here we go. First matches with Zack. Oh man. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about the history of this game, man. This game came out during the mid 1990s. Tecmo was in financial trouble at the time before this game came out, and they were seeing how, if you guys remember the Virtua Fighter games, those were pretty much the games that were really selling it in fighting games. And in terms of 3D fighting games, Virtua Fighter was that one fighting game that everybody was talking about, because it was a 3D fighter, and everybody was like, oh my god, this is incredible. And the guys at Tecmo, they looked to one of their designers, Tomoburo Edegaki. They basically said, look, Virtua Fighter is that new hotness, and we need something like Virtua Fighter in order to save our company. We need a game that will, put butts in seats, quarters in machines, have people playing our games. And since Edegaki was a fan of Virtua Fighter, he wanted Dead or Alive to basically stand out amongst all the competition out there. He wanted to make a fighting game that is when people looked at 3D fighters, Dead or Alive was definitely one of those 3D fighters that people people talked about it. People wanted to be this is one of those games. This is definitely one of those games that people want to play. This is definitely one of those things. So he saw the opportunity, and then he went for it. But he wanted it to be different, He wanted it not to be like all these other typical 3D fighters. So he wanted it to stand out from the competition, and that just basically he wanted a stronger game, which pretty much emphasizes on like he wanted it to be very proactive in both. He basically said I wanted it to be very action packed and very sexualized, and I think there's a reason why. I think there's a reason one of those little aspects is what kept this series going, because we can see which one of those are still in the games today. But another I think another cool thing about this series is what a lot of people don't realize is a lot of the movement in this game. A lot of the movement is motion capture. You would look at this and you're thinking it's like, oh, this is all pre-animated and everything like that. No, that was one of the big things about this game too. Is like all the characters and everything. This was all motion captured. I'm sorry I'm not doing grabs because it's hard to do commentary and talk about this stuff. Let's see. What else? What else? What other trivia can I talk about? Let's see. Oh, the game itself. Oh, I'm a wrestler. Why can't I grapple? How do I grapple? I forgot how to grapple in Dead or Alive. The original arcade board of Dead or Alive, it actually ran on the Sega Model 2 arcade board, which was pretty much the same exact board that Virtua Fighter ran on, which was pretty crazy. So it was pretty much running on similar hardware. And it came, if I remember the date it came out in February of 1996. 1996 February is when Dead or Alive was brought upon the world, and everybody's life was a little bit better that day because they realized there's something good here. And if you guys want to know something funny, a lot of people, during the time that this was out, a lot of people were comparing it to Tekken, and that actually made Itagaki really, really upset because he despised Tekken. It's he purposely wanted to make a fighting game that would surpass or be better than Tekken, which is why a lot of people realized that when Dead or Alive came out, it emphasized more on speed and more like that. Because if you look at the first few games of Tekken, the first two Tekken games, the movement is kind of slow, it's kind of sluggish, and everything like that. So that was definitely one of the things that is I want my game to be better than Tekken. It's everybody talks about, Tekken is this way, and it was no. You look, Tekken is a baby game compared to mine. People will look at Dead or Alive and be like, this is the 3D fighter you want to play. This is the 3D fighter that will make you be like, yeah, this is the one for me. Let's see, what else? Oh, I think honestly the other thing that if I remember correctly, because I remember seeing an interview of with Itagaki back in the days of Tech TV and G4, and it was a show called Icons, and they interviewed him. And one of the things that I remember him saying in the interview is that because they asked him why did he hate Tekken so much and everything like that, and he basically said because the female character models were ugly. That was one of the things. He's the character models in there were ugly, which is another reason that one of Dead or Alive's most trademark things came to fruition, and that's why we came across the breast jiggle. That's why the boobs jiggle. Because he didn't want blocky, unanimated, female character models in his game. He wanted to give them that unique feel. It's no other female characters in fighting games do this. But in Dead or Alive, it does it. And that was a thing. I mean, it even gave you the option. I believe in, the home console version of it, on, PS1 and stuff like that, it actually gave you the option to turn the breast jiggle on or off. So it's you could have it on or you could have it off. It was entirely up to you. But I just always found that funny that he hated the character models of the females in Tekken. So it's just I'm gonna make better looking female character models, and I'm gonna make the boobs jiggle, and that's gonna help sell this game. And you know what? It did. It helped sell that game a lot. It helped it sell out a lot because it sold really well. to the point where people wanted it more, people wanted to play it more, and everything like that. But the weird thing is, like it was, I think it was honestly about 2 years after the game came out in arcades before it was released in home console. Yeah, it was released on home console, I think, in 1998 on the PlayStation. Yeah. But there was some improvements. There were some vast improvements for the PS1 version. There was a revamped fighting engine, of course, because you got to improve on it. And there were new backgrounds. There was also some new music tracks and everything like that. They also, I remember this because, like, the only thing I remember, like, the thing that sucks about it is because they never released it in America. But they released an upgraded arcade version of Dead or Alive, and it was called Dead or Alive Double, I think it was like Double Plus. But yeah, it was basically like the Super Turbo or the Arcade Edition or the EX Plus Alpha type of deal for arcades back in that day. So this game went through a lot of revamps. It went through a lot of like work and everything like that, but it's what it took, man. This game series is literally what saved Tecmo. It's literally what saved Tecmo from going under, and it's what gave Itagaki basically credibility as a game developer. It was one of the reasons why he became such like an anomaly in the video game world, is because of this series. It was his baby. He created it, and it was because of that Tecmo continues to make games now. But for some reason they don't want to make another Dead or Alive game. Tecmo, hello, Tecmo, why don't you want to make another? I really hope that through all of this, it's all just a hue. They're just like, oh, we're not working on any more Dead or Alive. Sorry, and instead they're just like, oh yeah, we said that, but because we're working on Dead or Alive 6, and we don't want to spoil anything. We don't want anybody to know about anything like that. So my fingers are crossed. My hand is on my heart, and I will hold my several copies of Dead or Alive oh so close to me, hoping that we do in fact get a DOA 6, because this franchise, man, it's really good. I like it a lot. It's a franchise that I hold very near and dear to my heart. And it all started with this one, man. I remember seeing it in arcades. I remember playing it, and I remember very, very clearly. I mean, look at this. This is how you enter your name. This is how you enter your name in the thing when you finish the arcade mode. How do you not like this? Because I'm an adult. But yeah. So, it's a good time going down memory lane, and it's just a good time remembering one of these crazy fun games that I love so much. One of these crazy series that I love so much. And don't you guys worry. It's not just the fighting games that we're going to be discussing in this series. We're also going to be looking at some very, very fun in the sun volleyball games. I know I've done videos on them, but there's a lot more to discuss about them. So until then, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video, and hopefully you learned a little bit something about the Dead or Alive series that you possibly may not have known. So until then, guys, this was Dead or Alive. I've been Benchez. I love all your faces. Be nice to everybody out there. And I'll see you folks in the next one. See you later.